good morning, good evening, and welcome back to the sanctuary of deep storytelling. You are watching Whatever You Need, the channel where we refuse to skim the surface of celebrity culture. Instead, we dive into the deep waters of human connection, timing, and the silent languages spoken between lines of dialogue. If you have been searching for a place that respects your intelligence and your passion, you have found it. Before we unravel the complex tapestry of today's story, please ensure you are subscribed to the channel. Press that notification bell so you never miss a chapter of these unfolding dramas. And for those of you who wish to stand closer to the flame, for those who want to be the true patrons of this storytelling engine, I invite you to click the join button. Your membership is the fuel that keeps our lights burning and our investigations sharp. Today, we are turning our gaze toward a narrative that has captivated millions, a story that sits precariously on the fault line between the past and the future. We are talking about Sıla Türkoğlu and Halil İbrahim Ceyhan. To the uninitiated, they are merely actors, talented and charismatic. But to those who know, to those of you watching this right now, they represent a saga of intense chemistry, painful distance, and the enduring question of what if. Recently, the silence between them was broken, not with a shout, but with a whisper that sounded like thunder. A television interview, a cryptic answer, and a secret meeting have all converged to ask one singular question: is it possible to rewrite an ending? Today we dissect the evidence, the emotion, and the philosophy of their return. The setting was routine. A morning television program, the kind filled with bright lights, comfortable sofas, and rehearsed questions about upcoming projects and career milestones. Sıla Türkoğlu sat there, radiating that specific blend of poise and warmth that has made her a household name. The conversation drifted through the safe harbors of her professional life until the interviewer, perhaps sensing the elephant in the room, decided to steer the ship into deeper waters. The questions that everyone had been holding their breath for finally materialized. Have you seen Halil İbrahim Ceyhan's recent interview? And more pointedly, what do you think about what he said about you? In the world of public relations, the standard playbook dictates a deflection, a polite smile, a generic compliment, a swift change of subject. But Sila did not follow the script. She smiled, yes, but it was the smile of someone acknowledging a truth she had carried for a long time. She took a breath that seemed to inhale the weight of the past few years, and she spoke with a clarity that silenced the studio. I don't usually talk about my personal life, she began, honoring her boundary before crossing it, but sometimes, when the heart speaks so clearly, one can't remain silent. And yes, I heard it. And yes, I also feel that the time has come. The time has come. For simple words. Yet, in the context of their shared history, these words were seismic. They did not merely answer a question, they opened a door that many assumed had been locked and cemented shut. What did she mean by this temporal declaration? Is it the time for reconciliation? The time for truth? Or the time to finally surrender to a gravity they have both been resisting? I want to pause here and ask you, the jury of this court of public opinion, how do you interpret Sila's words? When she says the time has come, do you hear a promise of romance, or a declaration of closure? Pause the video, leave your detailed theories in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video if you appreciate us analyzing these nuances. Your engagement helps Whatever You Need reach more people who care about these stories as much as you do. To fully grasp the magnitude of Sila's statement, we must rewind the tape and examine the catalyst. We must look at Halil. In his own recent interview, Halil stripped away the armor of the stoic leading man. With a voice trembling with unfeigned emotion and eyes glistening with unshed tears, he confessed to a truth that most men in his position would bury deep. There are people who come into your life to teach you something, he had said, his voice breaking. But there are others who simply stay with you, even as time passes. This was not a soundbite, it was a soulbite. It went viral within minutes not because it was gossip but because it was raw. It resonated with anyone who has ever loved someone they could not quite hold on to, yet could not quite let go of. Halil's admission that he never stopped thinking about her laid the groundwork for everything that is happening now. It created a space of vulnerability that demanded a response. Sila's answer on the morning show was that response. A reciprocal vulnerability, a signal flare sent up from her own island of silence, acknowledging that she saw his signal, and that she, too, was ready to bridge the gap. Sila did not stop at that initial confession. As the interview progressed, she offered a glimpse into the psychology of their separation. "I'm not sure what will come next, but I'm willing to find out," she admitted, displaying a rare comfort with uncertainty. "Sometimes fear keeps us apart, but time shows us what truly matters." This sentiment struck the show's hosts dumbfounded. One managed to stutter, "This is a live love story, folks." And they were not wrong. But let us analyze the deeper meaning here. She speaks of fear as the antagonist of their story. Fear of public scrutiny. Fear of the intensity of their bond. Fear of losing themselves in each other. And she speaks of time not as an enemy that erodes love, but as a teacher that clarifies it. This perspective suggests that their time apart was not a failure of the relationship, but a necessary incubation period, a winter that had to happen so that a new spring could arrive. The live chat during the broadcast became a digital torrent of emotion. "It's about time," screamed the optimists. "True love always comes back," wrote the romantics. Of course, the skeptics were present too, warning, "Let's hope it's not just a media stunt." But the authenticity in her eyes makes the stunt theory difficult to swallow. Stunts are usually loud and perfectly choreographed. This felt hesitant, tender, and undeniably human. If the television studio was the stage for the public declaration, what happened next belongs in the pages of a noir romance novel. In the hours following the broadcast, the machinery of the media began to churn out reports of a private intersection. According to multiple sources, the narrative moved from the airwaves to the street. Halil was reportedly spotted entering a quaint cafe situated dangerously close to the television station where Sila had just poured her heart out. This was a mere 30 minutes after she had left the building. And he was not empty-handed. Witnesses describe him carrying a small box, a detail that instantly ignites the imagination. Was it a peace offering? A memento from the past? A symbol for the future? Inside the cafe, shielded by the ambient noise of espresso machines and quiet conversations, they were seen together. A witness, observing from a respectful distance, painted a picture of intense intimacy. They were seated in a secluded corner, away from the prying eyes of the main window. They weren't laughing, the source noted, a detail that adds immense credibility to the account. Laughter is for light acquaintances, this meeting was heavy. They were looking at each other with an intensity you don't see every day. There was something about their body language, like they were saying everything with their eyes. They shared a hot drink, they spoke in hushed tones that did not travel beyond their table, and then, as discreetly as they had arrived, they vanished through a side door. This clandestine meeting suggests that while the public statements are bold, the private reality is being handled with extreme fragility and care. That same evening, the story migrated to the digital realm, where modern relationships are often codified in pixels and captions. Sila posted an Instagram story that was a masterclass in minimalism. No image of a face, no direct tag, no clutter of emojis. Just a black background and white text. Sometimes, all you need is a sincere conversation and an honest look. For the fans, this was confirmation. It was the digital seal on the rumor of the cafe meeting. It validated the reports of the honest looks exchanged in that secluded corner. Halil, maintaining his role as the stoic counterpart, remained silent that night. His silence was loud, a pause in the musical score. But the following day, he broke it with a black and white photograph of a cloudy sky, pierced by a single, defiant ray of sunlight. His caption: "Where there is light, there is hope." These two posts, when viewed together, form a dialogue. Sila acknowledges the conversation. Halil acknowledges the outcome. The imagery of light breaking through clouds is a universal symbol of resilience, of a storm passing, of clarity returning after a period of confusion. The media outlets ran with headlines ranging from the pragmatic, second chance or simple closing of a cycle, to the poetic, the love that refused to die resurrects over a cup of coffee. To add another layer of complexity, an exclusive interview surfaced with a close friend of Sila's, speaking under the condition of anonymity. This source provided the emotional context that explains the long silence. She never stopped thinking about him, the friend revealed. It's just that sometimes two people need to separate to understand what they truly mean to each other. This quote reinforces the theme of necessary separation. It suggests that their time apart was not an abandonment, but a journey of self-discovery that has inevitably led them back to the same coordinate. And now the plot thickens with a twist that feels almost scripted by fate. The television channel that hosted Sila's interview has announced a special year-end program, and both actors have been invited. While neither has publicly confirmed their attendance, the mere possibility has sent the fandom into a frenzy. A television reunion would be the visual climax to this narrative arc. Fans are already fantasizing about the moment. If they sit together on set, it will be the event of the year. Another commented, "We need them to say on camera what they haven't said off camera. We want truth, we want emotion." The truth is, beyond the spectacle of celebrity, beyond the headlines and the hashtags, there is something about the story of Sila and Halil that resonates deeply with the human spirit. Perhaps it is because we all harbor a secret desire for second chances. We all want to believe that love can endure the erosion of time. We all want to believe that words, when finally spoken, can heal years of silence. In a recent appearance on a radio program, Halil was questioned again, cornered by curiosity. He simply smiled, looked at the host, and offered a riddle. Sometimes, a single answer can rewrite an entire story. He ended with a wink, a gesture of playful confidence that suggests he knows something we do not. Meanwhile, Sila continues to share excerpts of poetry and song that speak of rebirth and courageous decisions. "It's not always about forgetting," she posted. "Sometimes, it's about choosing to remember differently." Are we witnessing the elegant conclusion of a past chapter, or the thrilling first page of a new volume? Is this the rebirth of a love that never truly died? Only time, that great teacher they both respect, will tell. Thank you for journeying through this emotional landscape with us today on Whatever You Need. If this analysis touched you, if you are rooting for clarity and love, please leave a comment, share this video, and destroy that like button. And please, remember to subscribe and join our community via the join button to support independent, thoughtful content. We are here for whatever you need. Until next time, keep your heart open to the possibilities of the unspoken. Goodbye.